pretty much a system that we develop in our body that's in our genes that protect us against antigens. And then, and antigens can include viruses, bacteria, and other types. That on cells that aren't from our body.
So we have to, the body uses two types of immune systems, the innate immune system and the adaptive immune system. And we're going to explain what they are.
So, like Jonathan said, that antigens, we'll explain antigens in a bit, but phagocytes and lymphocytes will help with the removal of certain antigens, and certain antibodies will help attack the cells that are considered right inside of the body.
Here's a little image of how the immune system is a little basic overview of protected viruses, parasites, and fungi. And there's two types of antigens earlier, innate immunity and adaptive. Innate versus adaptive. So let's start off. Innate, it's a non-specific system where it decides to attack when there's an infection that goes on in the body. Most likely, one example would be a physical cut, where it decides that any cell that's considered to be non-infected, it begins to attack with helper T cells, and CD4 will recognize the infection and will be bind together until get a little drop, and it will just completely destroy the cell.
And then adaptive is a specialized system. It is like helper T cells and CD4 recognize infection, and the toxic T cells and CD8 will bind and kill infections. So basically, those are the cells that are for the adaptive immunity. And as you can see, the antibodies, we have the toxic response and the memory T cells. So these are more specific, and they have a slow response in comparison to the innate immunity. And they're like more memory cells, like they memorize kind of like the antigens that they fight, so they can like know later on which ones they should like focus on and so on. But that one is not very specific, but this one is.
So, as you might have heard, we talked about phagocytes, lymphocytes, and antigens. So, phagocytes are basically, they're in charge of processing important specific immune responses. They have a high concentration of enzymes so that they're able to destroy the infections or destroy the material inside of the cell. So when it destroys whatever it engulfs. The lymphocytes is a form of small leukocyte. So they're basically like white blood cells. And they help with the immune responses. And then, like Jonathan had earlier said, antigens are just basically toxins or foreign substances inside of the cell that are harmful to the body. So these are just kind of a list of the phagocytes that you have around your body. So as you can see, the spleen has macrophages and the lung has alveolar macrophages. So things like that.
And here's an image of the lymphocytes. Here's CD3, CD4. CD4, and then here's the helper T cells. That is one of the most, well, we could say it's one of the most important cells in protecting our body against antigens.
So this is basically what your immune system is doing as it's trying to remove the antigens. The antigen is attacking the red blood cell, and then the antibodies are going to go in and bind to the antigens and try to destroy them before it becomes too big, or try to limit the amount of growth. So the reason why we're talking about the immune system first is because of the fact that the disease is really specific to the immune system, and it's basically going to deter what your immune system does.
So basically what happens when the body's cells fail to recognize its own cells and tissues is an immune disease. So basically what an immune disease is basically, as you guys can see in the picture, the T cells are not going to recognize the body tissues, and they're going to attack it, and they're going to attack the healthy cells. So basically, it looks like a person defenseless, or because it attacks the healthy cells. So instead of trying to protect the body, it's gonna attack their own tissues, or certain tissues, or maybe an overall group of the big tissues of the immune system.
this is a normal, the one on the left side is a normal response to the immune system, and the one on the right is, actually your left, sorry, is an autoimmune disorder. So as you can see, the antibodies are attaching the body tissue, so they're basically like destroying the healthy cells.
And as you guys hear, we have, we're trying to show representation, so it has a normal immune response. The antigens will normally get into a cut with the reports the same. Then the antigen and the antibodies will help fight it. However, with an autoimmune disease, it's another way around. It's that the immune system starts seeing everyone as an antigen and starts attacking, and the person starts suffering, and at the end they start suffering with inflammation, and then bone tissue gets damaged.
So basically, the cause of immune disease is very unknown, but basically there's like kind of like theories of what like triggers an immune disease, including bacteria, virus, drugs, chemical irritants, environmental irritants. But basically, if you have like a family member who has autoimmune diseases, it could be possible that you could also have it. So basically, those are like part of the body systems that could be affected by autoimmune diseases. So basically, you could see that basically nothing is safe from autoimmune disease. Like anything could be affected.
So the autoimmune disease that we decided to focus on is severe combined immunodeficiency, or also SCID. So it's a group of inherited disorders, and it can be potentially fatal because what will what the AIDS group said, it's not the fact that it's the disease that's fatal, but the fact the disorder that's fatal, but it's more the fact that you're very vulnerable to diseases, because having SCID is basically having an almost absent immune system, because your body isn't recognizing the material of the cell that is trying to infect it. And so basically the T cells and the B cells are impaired, so they're not doing their job right. And the T cells count is way lowered, and in some cases the B cell count will be higher, but that will not provide sufficient amount of immune response because the B cells are damaged and cannot produce what they're supposed to, the antibodies that they're supposed to produce. So here's a diagram of the normal immune system and how it will go through the T cells and B cells. But with SCID, you will have decreased immune responses, so it won't lead to, you will basically not be able to fight off infections and be very vulnerable to deadly diseases. So there's several types of SCID, but one is in the SCID-X1 gene, which is located on the X chromosome, which makes it an X-linked disease or disorder. So it encodes a protein that builds a receptor IL-2R gene, which sits on the plasma membrane of the immune system, not allowing it to like reproduce properly, the T cells. So basically a diagram of like the X-linked of how the disorder goes into the genetics of the family. As you can see, it's more prone to boys, but if a dad and a mom who has the carrier is a carrier, the girl will probably be affected too.
So pretty much as diagnosed SCID, there's a various ways. There is to be tested as a baby for a year old, and then one of the ones I found interesting was if I can say correctly, chorionic villus sampling. Is that while the baby's still in the womb, they're able to take a sample, but they would test it and they would see the karyotypes and they would see if the child would carry the gene of SCID. We can check. And the first babies, usually with SCID, it's very important that the baby gets diagnosed in the first couple of months because obviously they're going to be getting infections when they become born, and if they don't have it, they're most likely to die. And here the symptoms of SCID is that the first signs newborns after months become highly vulnerable to diseases, and it's very important to them that because if not any infection, pretty much can become lethal. The majority of the antibodies respond, and if the patient does not seek help, or by help I mean going to the hospital, they most likely will die. The treatment for SCID. I'll start off with the image first so you guys can understand what's going on. David Vedder. David Vedder is one of the most famous patients of SCID. He was named Bubble Boy one day. And what he pretty much suffered is that he, as a little child, he was diagnosed with SCID in which he had to live in a little small bubble for his 12 years of life due to the fact that he couldn't see any pretty much, if he had any infection or any contact with the disease, he would most likely be able to die. So he became a well-known case. treatment is that the patient becomes isolated earlier. One of the most famous is a bone marrow transplant, in which they did to David Better. However, unfortunately, he died due to apparently found a disease in the bone marrow that was hidden, that he got from his sister, I believe. That ended up, how do I say, infecting him and killing him in the result. The process is that the stem cells will be injected into the infected individual and create needed production to the immune system. And another thing is gene therapy. And gene therapy is something that's developing over time. I mentioned the idea is that the genes will be introduced slowly. However, it will allow them to create the needed action in the cells to create the immune system.
So that's pretty much it. Somebody, do you have any questions about autoimmune disease? Did you learn anything new?
Well, first of all, the case, I found it really interesting and also sad because 12 years of life in a couple, like, pretty hard.
There are a couple of movies too.
Yeah.
So you feel like you want to cry.
Yvette, can you tell me how one way that skin is contracted?
You guys have a handout we gave yesterday.
Yeah. Thank you. So thank you